Have you ever found yourself doubting your accomplishments, doubting yourself in general, just kind of feeling like maybe you're a fraud, maybe asking for too much? I don't know, just like that kind of weird feeling you're not enough, maybe for like the situation or the next phase of life you're trying to get to. So today I just kind of wanted to talk about imposter syndrome, and just to let you know, you're not alone in that. So many people suffer with imposter syndrome. I honestly feel like most of the people I'm closest with have suffered with this to some degree. They may not be currently suffering with it, but they've definitely gone through the process themselves. So if this is something you've been struggling with and something you continue to struggle with, or maybe something you've gone through and you just want to stick around and give us some advice, then make sure you stay tuned for this video.
Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Liz here. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. On this channel, I like to talk about kind of mindset, staying positive, kind of juggling the life of a working mom for the most part, because that's who I am and that's what I can relate to. So if you can relate to that, make sure you definitely hit the subscribe button and stick around. So as a working mom, someone who's been an entrepreneur for many, many years, and now also someone who's also been aspiring to be a successful content creator, I feel like I've struggled with my great deal of imposter syndrome. It's definitely something I've struggled with. I feel like coming into adulthood, it's kind of never left. It's something I'm dealing with. I get better with it, then I get worse with it, then I get better with it. But either ways, I want to share with you guys just maybe some things that I do in order to help deal with imposter syndrome. But before we get into that, I just kind of want to talk about, well, what is imposter syndrome? Maybe why do we suffer from imposter syndrome? How is it that more women suffer from imposter syndrome than men? And I think that is facts. Like, research has been done, like, us as women struggle from imposter syndrome way more than men. We just don't have that audacity. I guess that's it. Like, we in general, again, this is our general statement. I'm not speaking for every single woman out there because obviously we're all different, but I'm just speaking in general terms. For me and myself and the women that I know personally, I feel like a lot of us do suffer from imposter syndrome, and it's just the feeling of like feeling you're not good enough, the feeling of feeling like you're a fraud. Say you're presented with this amazing opportunity, something that you've actually been working very hard for, and it finally gets presented to you, and then you're like, oh my god, wait, like, am I actually good enough? Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna fall flat on my face? And I guess that's the feeling of imposter syndrome. It's just feeling like, oh my god, even though you've worked so hard, like, anyone else on the outside of you, right, can see that you're deserving of this opportunity. You're being given such opportunity, but then you're like, oh my gosh, am I gonna fail? Like, am I even good enough? Like, I can't do this. So those are all the feelings of imposter syndrome. And let me tell you myself, I've definitely felt that. I feel like currently, I've worked in corporate America for several years, and I feel like that's where I felt it the most. And they definitely foster off of that energy of imposter syndrome. So if you let it get to you, especially in corporate America, it will cripple you and it will leave you right where you are, right? Like, you will not be able to get ahead if you feed into imposter syndrome. The thing to it is just to feel it, know that it's there, but then conquer it. It's just like a fear. I feel like imposter syndrome is just like any other fear. You have to acknowledge it, and then you can work on how you're gonna conquer it, and then just know that you can do it. It's not that easy, but it's doable. Like, you were given this opportunity. Give yourself a chance. Don't let the fear of, oh my gosh, like, I don't deserve it, ruin it before you even get a chance. Another example for me, how I feel like I've really been feeling a lot of imposter syndrome, it really comes down to my content creation journey. I feel like this is probably the most crippling for me. Like, I know how to set up a camera, I know how to press record, I know how to edit a video, I know how to upload it, hence the over 100 videos on my YouTube channel. And if you haven't checked them out, check them out. But like, I know how to make videos, I know how to do that. But there's specific topics, right, that I would really like to go deeper on. And these are topics that I literally have gone to school for, I have degrees in, I've worked in jobs for, I've been paid tons of money to do this work, and I want to speak on it, but then I don't know. I feel like obviously I'm not the best, like, I will never be the top of the field in that, but I am someone who's worked in the field for several years. I'm knowledgeable, like, I know what I'm doing, and I still feel, oh my god, I'm scared to actually get in front of a camera and call myself an expert in this topic, even though I know what I'm talking about. So again, that's literally the definition of imposter syndrome right there, and I'm dealing with it. I'm trying to get through it, and hopefully you guys will see more like business related videos on my channel, because that is what I'm talking about. Like, I went to one of the best business schools in the country, literally definitely one of the best in the state I live in, and I'm stuck on like, oh, I'm not an expert, I'm not number one. Like, I'm not number one, number two, and number three, because there's like billions of people in this world. Like, get it together. Like, there's some people who didn't even go to school for business, and probably men that are on this internet giving business advice to people, or just advice in general on topics that they don't have an education on, which there's nothing wrong with that, because you can also self-educate yourself. But it's the fact that they can do that because they have the confidence in themselves, and I'm sitting here saying that I'm not an expert, so I'm not gonna get on camera and record these topics. So that is the basis of that, and I think I am going to just go ahead and do what I have to do. I'm gonna try and record like these shorter videos, just like this one. Hopefully this one won't be too long. I know I've been rambling for a little bit right now, but that's the point. Like, so we all have to just kind of face this fear. I found something else that kind of works is journaling. Start journaling a little bit. Like, if you feel like you're afraid of something, start journaling it. When journaling, I would recommend that you try to maybe explore the feelings or the root causes, to say, of why you are feeling this imposter syndrome. Like, when journaling, I would just question and try and like question myself why, and just kind of like blurt it out on the paper, right? Like, so if you start with the imposter syndrome, so say in my example that I just gave about the business content, like, just start writing the first sentence. I don't know, I feel like I'm not good enough to make business content. Why? And then answer that, like, because I don't know, I'm not an expert. Why? Like, and then just kind of dig deep in yourself with the journaling. A lot of the root causes comes down to probably perfectionism. Again, me with thinking I'm not an expert, so I can't do this. Like, I will never be the number one expert by not continuing to like throw myself into this field and do other things that I haven't done. So if I make content and I start with what I know, maybe it might inspire me to actually go and learn more topics that people are asking questions about, that I might be able to understand and explain it better to the next person, as opposed to them like reading a textbook themselves. So something like that I think is also beneficial, and I have to like kind of think about how this can benefit me and my community, and I just have to think beyond the imposter syndrome. So other root causes is probably fear of failing at what this opportunity is that's being presented at you, or something you want to do. You might be afraid that you're gonna fail, which is also completely understandable. Again, I would recommend just journal through that, explore the feelings, just get it out on paper. Honestly, trust me, when you see the reasons just kind of broken down in front of you, it might just help you think about what you also have to do in order to conquer those feelings. Another root cause might just be pressure, like pressure from people around you, pressure from society, pressure from other people who expect you to always have it together, or some form of that, and you just think maybe you don't, or you feel a mess inside. And trust me, like, sometimes just trust the people around you. Like, they might not think you're actually perfect just because they're trying to boost you up. They just know that you're capable. I know that in my case, that's definitely the case a lot of times. I have to hear from some of the people closest to me just that I can do it. Like, I can do these things that are being presented to me, and they would not be being presented to me if they weren't for me, and if it wasn't like my path and what I'm supposed to be doing. And you need to trust that gut feeling and trust the people around you. And that's another thing. Keep people around you who will boost you up. Do not keep people around you who are going to tell you that you are a failure, you'll never succeed, you'll never get what you want. Those people are so toxic. Like, cut them out your life. And recently I've cut out people like that I've been holding on to. Honestly, it feels like my whole life. But anyways, that's a whole topic for another day. But I'm just glad to say that letting go of certain people who think the worst of you for no absolute reason will help with your imposter syndrome. Like 100%, 1000%, I recommend get rid of those people. Like, just stop talking to them. If someone talks down on you, someone tells you that you're this and you're that, and you know you're not, especially you know you're not, just get rid of them out of your life. No matter who it is, I do not care at this point. I do not care who you are. If you think I'm some like low life or something like that, like if you just talk bad about me in general, I don't want you in my space. I don't want your energy around me, because your energy is bringing me down. And literally, your energy is bringing me down, and it's bringing my imposter syndrome at higher levels because it makes you question yourself. If you have someone around you who you think knows you and they're telling you that you're this and you're that and it's all negative things, and then you get this great thing from somebody else who sees greatness in you, and then you're like, oh wait, man, but like, you know, like, I'm just not good enough because of what so-and-so said the other day. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Like, those type of people, I don't care. At any cost to my life right now, I'm going to eliminate them, especially if they're giving me no benefits in my life. I'm sorry, you have to go. Like, I don't need that energy in my life. And it has been helping immensely with my imposter syndrome or feeling like I'm not good enough. Trust me, getting rid of those people, just not talking to them, not having conversations with them, not running anything about my life by these people. Again, these are people that I was close to, thought I was close to anyways, thought these people cared about me. But then I started realizing, like, every conversation I'm having with them, they are feeding negative energy into me. They telling me constantly how I'm not good enough, telling me constantly I need to do better, telling me all of this stuff about, especially even when it comes down to my career, telling me like I'm just not doing enough, when I'm just like, I'm doing so much. Like, you don't even see or care to come see. So I'm kind of done. Like, some people are just have their mind made up on you, and if they have their mind made up on you in a negative manner, just cut them out. There are so many other people who think you are doing amazing. They think like, oh my gosh, like, how are you doing that? And find your people. And I bet you if you start looking for those type of people, you will find like 100 more of them for every one person that talks down on you. There will be so many more people who look at you like, oh my God, you're amazing. Show me how to do this. How did you do that? Like, they will be like, you are an expert at XYZ. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. You're not like any of that, right? So anyways, all that to say, journal, get it all out, figure out the root reasons, figure out what you can do about it, and just try to make a plan and just try and stick with it, and just know that you got this. I got this, you got this. You are a bad bitch, okay? You got this. All that to say, I think you should just be you. I think that's the best thing you can do when you're feeling imposter syndrome. Be you, connect with the people that align with you, connect with the people who support you truly, who see you for who you are. Just be authentic and true to yourself, and that's probably the best thing you can do when it comes to imposter syndrome. If an opportunity is coming your way and you feel a little bit like you don't deserve it, but you really want to do it, I urge you to just go ahead and just bite the bullet and do it. Like, just do it and see what happens. If you fail, guess what? Another opportunity will always present itself. And if you succeed, you're gonna be so happy that you did not let your imposter syndrome stop you. And I guarantee you, if you go into it with an open mind and don't think, oh my God, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I guarantee you, you're probably gonna succeed, you're probably gonna enjoy it, it's probably gonna be amazing, and you're gonna look back and you're just gonna be like, wow, I can't even believe that I ever thought I couldn't do this. So this is all to say, again, this is the messages to myself. I will be making more mindset videos, more business videos, as I've done recently. I did recently make a video about how to grow your business. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure you check it out. I'll definitely link it in the cards or down below as well in the description. So make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. I will be back. Like I've said, I've definitely been uploading so much in 2024. I appreciate you guys. I will still be doing like vlogs here and there, but my main focus will not be vlogging anymore. I've kind of taken my life offline as well, and I am just trying to stay offline as much as possible. There is a lot of negativity online as well, so I'm just trying to keep my mindset as positive as possible, keep my goals in check, and just work towards what I can control and try to forget about all the negativity around me, because there will always be negativity. So just focus on the positivity. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe down below, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye.